We all have a story to tell.
This is a rags to riches story and we should celebrate it.
John, Michael, the whole family, they come over with nothing.
You can play the game in a different way, and so they have been doing that probably their whole life.
The twists and turns, failures and successes. This is what shapes us into who we are. John and Michael Chow were born in 1970s Hong Kong. Hong Kong was a cultural crossroads, teeming with people and commerce. But the Chow Brothers' parents wanted a better education for their children. And in 1984, the entire family, Jenny, John, Vicky and Michael, arrived in Wellington, New Zealand. With only a few possessions and a determination to succeed. John was 13, Michael was just 8.
When we moved over here in New Zealand back then, it was like a dead city.
One thing the Chows learned as immigrant children was the importance of working together. The brothers were expected to work in the family takeaway business in Courtenay Place and to work hard.
Typical Chinese family running a little food business in the time. Michael on the woks, John was behind the counter.
After a few years, the brothers took over the shop and renamed it J&M and focused on growing the business.
As Courtenay Place was getting busy with bars, they opened until 3 o'clock in the morning, 20 hours a day.
The long hours and late nights, combined with the boys' determination to succeed, saw the business flourish.
What it was back then, J&M's, was exactly what it is today. It's a highly successful late night takeaway bar.
They quickly learned the day-to-day skills of business and began looking at ways to increase profits further.
I think that's one thing I learned is how we add value by using the same resource to have a better return.
It was in the long hours of running J&M's that the boys began to understand the strength and value of their brotherhood.
A lot of people ask me about John and Michael's, how they get on, and I think one most important thing is that they have the same direction.
I think they're like every family business. It's a real strength to have your family there because you can ultimately fall back on them.
John and Michael are so sweet to see them operating together and how they bounce off each other.
With the success of J&M's, the brothers looked to expand and purchased their first commercial property, the vacant ANZ building on Courtenay Place.
I remember John's family buying it and I thought, oh, okay then, very brave.
Their grand development plans were unsuccessful and they were left with an empty building and no income. The only solution to avoid bankruptcy was for the parents' family home to be sold. John took this particularly hard.
He found it hard to face and he don't know what to do. He was depressed, quite depressed, and he just don't want to face it. Don't know how to face it, don't know what to do.
The pressure would have been quite immense, financially and psychologically.
So that's probably lowest point. Just staying inside the room, don't want to facing the reality.
One of the most important things is that they are looking around everywhere, so busy, and we've got an empty building. What is it that they're not doing right?
John and Michael decided to do whatever it took to get the building to work before they lost everything.
Most people would have said, oh, bugger it, walk away and just forget about it. No, these guys, no, they're not going to take them down.
Losing is overrated. If you've had a loss here or there, you tend to get more focused on trying to win.
With a new determination, they launched into finding new ways to increase cash flow and then began to look at buying more commercial property. The search led them to the top of Tory shopping complex and its vacant space, in which they quickly established Exodus Gym, hoping the risky venture would pay off.
So by good management, good luck, good fortune, hard work, etc., everything did work out. And what they learnt from that is that if you back yourself and you provide a decent product, there's every chance you'll get tenants to come.
One thing I learned is that you're never waiting for opportunity. You need to go out to grab your opportunity. So that's how, opportunities don't come to you. You need to actually go out to grab them.
As the brothers began to buy more and more commercial assets, the media started to take notice.
It's like anybody in New Zealand. As soon as you put your head up, it is tall poppy, and it does get messy and it does get difficult.
Oh, I think they've had an incredibly rough go, but I think that's just racism in this country. Not only do we have racism in this country, you have tall poppy, so you combine the two and they're in trouble.
Personally, I know the whole family is very different people to what they've been portrayed.
Regardless of the media's perspective, it's actions that speak louder than words. And the brothers' support of their local communities is testament to this.
They have actually given support to Rotary. They've held art auctions there that are good community fundraisers. They've supported our basketball because that's a bit of a passion for the boys.
We had a sponsor that went bust in the middle of the season. They knew that we were in a bit of trouble. They'd read the articles in the paper, so they rang us up and said, can we help?
You know, they're contributing significantly to Wellington in terms of investment in the city, but also in terms of what they give back to the support of many of our sports teams.
Stonewood Homes have sponsored our team for 6 or 7 years now. We couldn't do it without their support.
In 2019, they celebrated 25 years in business together.
I think the proudest moment that I've seen with them is when they hit their 25 years. You know, the family, Michael's mum and dad, very proud of them.
Their success is based upon their strategy of finding undervalued assets and unlocking their hidden value. This has proven to be their signature business strategy.
So what they always want with everything they do is to add value to it.
And I think that's a key strength of them, their ability to look at their property and repurpose it.
This strategy, combined with their business acumen, plus 4 siblings working together over 20 years, has guided them towards 30% year-on-year growth and an $800 million portfolio of property and business assets.
They've done very well in all of those businesses, and that's because of a really good analytical process.
And this strength has resulted in some considerable holdings, including the top of Tory shopping complex, over 12,000 square metres of retail space and car parking, making the Stonewood Group the largest landowners in central Wellington. 151 to 159 Willis Street, Wellington, with car parking for 365 cars. The Oaks, 89 Courtney Place, a 226-room hotel, opened after a complete renovation. The Pullman Rotorua, a 130 rooms 5-star hotel, opened after a complete renovation. The 16-storey Westpac building at 318 Lambton Quay, home of Stonewood Group's Serviced Offices Urban Hub, which offers 3 levels of premium serviced co-working office space. The newly refurbished Microtel Hotel with 81 rooms on 25 Vivian Street, 137 Quay Street, Auckland as their headquarters. 10 to 20 Park Avenue, Otahuhu, a 130-unit complex leased to government. The 13-storey at 55 The Square, Palmerston North, the headquarters of New Zealand Transport Agency. As well as commercial properties, the Stonewood Group also owns RCR Infrastructure, specialising in HVAC, refrigeration and the electrical industries. DataGuard, supplying high-quality power protection equipment. In 2016, John and Michael acquired Stonewood Homes from receivership and $20 million of debt, and finishing 200 of the incomplete but promised homes.
And when I heard the Chows are boarded, I thought, you know, they're not stupid. They've been successful at what they do and they'll make it work.
To get it from where it was when they purchased to where it was a year later, hard decisions.
Stonewood Homes has always prided itself on quality, built with heart, focus on the customer's needs.
I don't think the media have focused on how well the Chows looked after the people who had uncompleted homes in Stonewood, where they helped everybody and made sure everybody got the product they expected.
With the successful restructuring of Stonewood Homes, the brothers turned their attention to the complete renovations of the Pullman Rotorua. Unfortunately, weeks after the grand opening, COVID struck New Zealand and the brothers had a new challenge to overcome.
Obviously, it was challenging for the team at that point of time. Kind of just making the decision a few months later to have to temporarily close because of lockdown.
But the temporary closure didn't deter the brothers and they focused more energy and resources into the venture.
How much respect they pay to the staff. I've never seen that before.
And throughout COVID, they managed to survive. And that's astute business practice from the Chow Brothers.
Their latest project is 280 Queen Street, a commercial property right in the heart of Auckland City, currently undergoing a full renovation with 6-star green building rating. These holdings tell the story of a brilliant strategy, perfectly executed, and the vision to see value where others couldn't. But none of this is possible without their dedicated team.
What I love about working for the Stonewood Group is the responsibility of having a business under me that I can run and manage as I see fit, with support from the group.
That's one of the things the Chows do really well. They've built a team of people that want to be with them.
They're very fun, which most people don't see that side. There's business, and business is life for them, but it's fun.
I'm really appreciate John Michael give me the opportunity, give me sort of a trust and let me to learn and improve with the company.
Very approachable, easy to talk to, happy to listen to.
In early 2022, the Stonewood Group launched its latest venture, Stonewood Key Capital, with the aim of raising capital to fund future Stonewood developments. Unsurprisingly, Stonewood Key has big plans, looking to raise $100 million by 2023, and with projects already underway in St Heliers, Glen Innes and Waitaki Bay.
We also have a skin in the game, so we not just take your money and invest, we do invest that together with you. If you make money, we make money.
You know, most people aspire to own a home, and so I think, you know, Stonewood Key present one of the ways of unlocking that opportunity.
John and I look at every investor's money as our money, not just fund manager, as we also put our money where our mouth is.
Our model is different. Our model is a model that says, you give us money, you get a percentage of the upside. The more you make, the more we make, so that's a good thing. Your returns are potentially greater.
John and Michael, they've said we are going to get to X level. Lots of people have doubted that they would, but every one they've told me about, they've achieved.
If you ask me what will it look like in 10 years' time, my view is it will be, Stonewood Key will be there, it'll be strong, it'll be profitable, it'll be very successful.
Business is a long-term relationship. We're not here for make 1, 2, 3 years. We're looking for 10, 20 year business.
Going into business with a former Prime Minister and his son, Max Key, shows just how far the Chows have come from their days running a takeaway, and demonstrates the high regard and trust with which they are now regarded inside New Zealand's business and investment community.
I would say that they just keep going, like Energizer. They just love the challenges. They cannot stop.
This $2 billion target, I'm sure he's going to get there.
Important in life, I believe, to be successful, start young. Like business, you start business young. Like property, for example, you get into property early. The earlier you get into property, the better you are in life. And that's what I believe.
I think we enjoy the journey rather than we happy the end goal. Of course, we're happy the end goal, but we actually enjoy the challenging and journey more because that's where we learn and develop. You know, they just, of course you can't use it.